Kevin Kelly asks, besides the marshmallow test, are there other lessons for long-term thinking for 5-year-olds? Or
For
people that act like 5-year-olds?
Or people who act like 5-year-olds. Well, I do think this idea of creating buffers to our impulses is important, and that also, by the way, worked for it was another tactic that worked for the doctors prescribing antibiotics, which was to create a little pop-up in the electronic health record when they're about to prescribe the antibiotic that says, what's your reason for prescribing this antibiotic to this patient? It's just a simple question. And if you don't want to answer it, you have to check no justification given, and then that goes in the permanent record. So could you use that for a 5-year-old? I think, people do. Actually, I think in some ways parents, I'm not a parent, but I observe parents using some of these tactics maybe better than the rest of us, because they're trying to get their kids, right, to think beyond their impulses. And then we sort of forget that we are, as adults, also very governed by our impulses, and that our technological tools reinforce that often. They don't have to. I think there are ways that we could use our technology to actually help us with long-term thinking. So
How many times we look at our phones a day?
Yeah, and I think the way they engineer, right, the engineering around Facebook likes and tweets, right? It's made to reinforce the availability bias, which is basically, right, or it does reinforce the availability bias. What we see is what we think is the most important. So we're constantly seeking that same reinforcement, that same sort of sense of satisfaction in the moment. And we think that that's actually what's important, when perhaps what's really important is not what's getting retweeted, but, the erosion of the federal court system.
Or democracy itself.
Yes.
Yeah.